What's up, everybody? Welcome back and to some more Hail Caesar coverage here as we keep working our way through all the factions, and we're getting closer and closer toward the eventual end of all the main factions in the book. So we're actually now up to 12th or 10 to 12th century lists here. Today we're taking a look at Christian Spain, which is a very fun one that offers some interesting army and unit compositions and just units to be able to field as well. Now, it is one that does require us to have at least a minimum of cavalry and infantry, 25% respectively. And from there, we could, create a very balanced list of sort of half and half or skew more towards one or the other. And then within each of those categories, we do have to have certain types of units. So as far as cavalry goes, at least half the cavalry units in the list must be knights, and then infantry, at least half the non-skirmishing infantry in the army must be peone. Oops, got a little bug there. Divisions, pretty standard stuff there, so 4 units per, and skirmishers here can be 50% per division of the infantry. So let's jump in. It's a fairly decent sized list and offers us some interesting unit choices again. So heavy infantry with spears is just a one of, and again, I always like to just, if there's one ofs, you might as well take them. They're usually something special or unique with either special rules or some other thing that maybe wouldn't be common for this list. So having a heavy infantry unit is always great, even if it's just more of a generic one, and that's kind of what we get here. So 26 points a pop. But then the aforementioned peone units that we have to take essentially in certain quantities, just medium infantry with spears and or javelins, so 23 points there, typical medium infantry, and no special rules for those guys. However, we could pay an extra point basically to include archers, arqueros, amongst the rear ranks, and really for one extra point, very solid option. Again, having a unit where you can kind of do a little bit of everything is certainly not a bad idea. Even if it's just one die, at some point you'll push a few damage through here and there, and sometimes that can be the tipping point. So that's pretty solid stuff there. Line infantry, archers or arqueros with bows. Again, 20 points a pop for a normal size unit, so this list definitely brings the ranged firepower. And if we wanted to just get a little bit cheaper with it, we could downgrade to levies for a 3-point discount. Similarly, we have access to crossbows in quantity now. Haven't seen much of that yet. And same kind of deal, same points. And again, we can pay to drop that to levies if we want to go with that. So again, lots and lots of firepower already available. We can also get light infantry retainers with crossbows for 21 points. So main selling point here, I guess, is the fact that there is a 6-up morale save versus no morale save versus the others. So debatable if you want to spend that extra point to go that route. So, and no option here to drop those to levy since they're retainers, so a little higher up in the hierarchy. Good skirmisher package here, the standard stuff, so javelins, bows, and slings. And again, we have plenty more firepower available to us there in skirmisher packages, so bows and slings as well. For some more long range, again, this list definitely packs the longer ranged firepower in just about every other unit. Then we get finally into some of the really hard-hitting units of the list. That's the Caballeros, the Knights of Military Orders with lances, so super punchy, getting us that wonderful Clash of 9. And here's where we get the special rules. So again, super high-end units. Stubborn, steady, haven't seen many of that trait, and then tough fighters as well. So 40 points a pop there, super expensive, but again, these things should really just punch through anything, just about anything, aside from like an equivalently strong unit. So certainly should just punch right through light and medium infantry and break holes in the enemy, and then get around for flank and rear charges. We could pay a little bit extra to make the knights wild chargers instead of tough fighters. So just debatable on if you want that, but that is definitely taking an already expensive unit and making it even more at 42 points. But maybe a good combination of that could be worthwhile. We then have Caballeros Hidalgos Knights, heavy cavalry here, so just more of a generic unit. 30 points there, so much, much cheaper, obviously, than the 40-point military orders, so still could be worth fielding. Because nonetheless, we still have Clash 9, and here they're doing spears and or javelins, so a little bit different in the short-range missiles there. We could then pay extra to give them lances for a little bit more hitting power, and even then it's still significantly cheaper than the military orders, but again, no special rules. And if we did want to go at least and get tough fighters for 1 point, that's still kind of like a budget military orders unit. We could go lances and tough fighters for 34 points, and that's still a 6 point discount versus the above. So it could be another great economy option to go that route and just have more units overall that are slightly a step below the other ones. But wait, there is more. We still have sort of a generic medium cavalry unit with spears and javelins. Again, another solid discount there, 27 points if we have some extra space to fill out. I think bulk of the list really needs to be the heavy hitters, though. But even then, here we're still getting eight clash dice. So, and then finally we have light cavalry with spears or javelins. Again, just keeps getting cheaper, but even then they punch at 7. Just not much in the way of saves, though, as we get progressively lighter. But usually we see the light cavalry in small units, so here it's kind of cool to see it as a full-size unit. Although here would have been interesting to at least get maybe a special rule, but I guess we get that here with the jinetes, light cavalry with spears and or javelins, where we get them as small units, and here we get feigned flight. So useful, I think, to take at least a couple of those. Feigned flight tricks are always fun. And then finally, getting our solid leadership 8 commander, so pretty standard stuff there. As long as we're not having to deal with leadership 7, I think everything will be fine. So just got to have a good solid game plan, but I think the infantry are there to really just shower people with missile fire, soften things up, and then really with the super heavy knights here, just punch holes again, and anything that's left can be cleaned up hopefully by the infantry with either more missiles or just a little bit of engagements, and then the cavalry should be just, again, punching solid holes through the enemy, getting flank and rear charges, and just wrapping things up. So lots and lots of possibilities with this, but really exciting list here as well. Should be super, super strong for this time period. Let us know your thoughts on Christian Spain, at least this version here from the 10th through 12th centuries, and how you feel that this would stack up against other things. If you've played with them, let us know your experience with them and where you've had your successes or failures, and again, what did you go up against? So we'd love to hear about that. Or if you've played against them, what do you like or dislike about going up against this list? But it seems super formidable. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you want to support the channel a little bit more and are thinking about getting anything from Warlord, check out the link in the pinned comment. That if you go through that to order anything, gives us a little referral from that, and that helps out the channel. So appreciate anybody who does that. But thanks so much for watching. We'll be back with more.